It's the off season. You know what that means. The rumors are flying. Welcome back, hockey fans. Welcome in if this is your first time to the channel. I'm Josh. This is the Hockey Flow, and today it's Thursday, June 30th, 2022. That's right, we got our first ever rumor rundown. We're going to do that for our article deep dive today. Found a really fun one from the Hockey Writers, so really excited to get to that on Today in Hockey. But first and foremost, we got to get to Today in Hockey history. Then we got to get to a couple of headlines, including the Washington Capitals making team history today. And then we'll get into the fun rumor rundown. There we go. All right. If you do enjoy the content, take a moment, like the video, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it. We're just getting started, but we're going to keep bringing you videos every day, so you want to make sure you never miss a beat. And again, I really do appreciate it. But all right, let's get into it. Today in hockey history. On this date, June 30th, in 1992, big date in Flyer history, an arbitrator decides that Eric Lindros was traded to the Flyers and not the Rangers. And again, this was in 1992. Those familiar with the saga know all about it, but at the end of the day, turns out the Flyers completed their trade just a little bit beforehand, and after adding a couple of pieces, they were able to get that puppy done, and Lindros would go on to make Flyers history. All right, headlines, like I promised. Washington Capitals, you guys made some team history today, and to be honest, it shouldn't even be news. It's annoying that we have to make this, we make these statements and it's such a big deal, but Emily Engelnatsky was hired as the first woman NHL coach in team history. She is now the video coordinator, so good for her. Very, very excited for her. And again, it stinks that this is such a big deal, but at the same token, we want to celebrate her, so congrats. Again, we just want to see more women get these opportunities. Absolutely. Detroit Red Wings, you guys had some big news today too. Absolutely. Derek Lalonde was hired as your head coach. The former Tampa Bay Lightning assistant has a couple Stanley Cup titles to his name. He's going to be taking over these young guns, so very excited to see what he can do. I really do like the hire coming from that John Cooper coaching tree there. Very excited to see what he can do, especially with all that really young talent, really good young talent. Man, I'm excited to see what the Red Wings do this year. But all right, let's get into it. Got a little something different today. We found an article by the Hockey Writers, the wonderful Jim Parsons, and no, not from the Big Bang Theory here. We're looking at NHL Rumors, Oilers, Maple Leafs, Lightning, Wild, Rangers. That's right, we're looking at some up-to-date rumors, what's flying around, and the wonderful Mr. Parsons actually compiled all the rumors that are from other websites and put them into a little article format for us. So I figured it'd be fun to walk through this and kind of talk about what's going on in the NHL, what could be, right? So first and foremost, Jack Campbell to the Oilers. That's right. According to Mr. Parsons, that seems to be the whispers that he's hearing from Mark Spector from Sportsnet, has said that the Oilers have identified Campbell as the best bet to fill that Tendy position. I did just see on Twitter something about Mike Smith getting moved to long-term injured reserve for the rest of his contract, which is good for the Oilers cap situation, but that means we do need a Tendy, right? And I tell you what, I'm a huge fan of Jack Campbell. Soupy, I would love it if the Oilers signed him. I'll have to get the player card up here. We'll do a further breakdown, unless one of these guys gets signed like really quick. We'll have to do a further breakdown, but Ville Husso is the other name that a lot of people are talking about, and I gotta be honest, I'm not too excited about that. The performance that he had in the regular season, absolutely. If we're getting early season Ville Husso, then yes, please sign me up. But man, he was a little leaky in the playoffs. He let some easy ones in for those Blues, and I tell you what, Tendy, again, we talk about it all the time. It's such a mental game. So is his head right? Is he ready to go? Is he worth the $5 million, or can we spend that elsewhere? But Pierre LeBrun says not so fast in regards to Jack Campbell as the main target. Ville Husso, as we are talking about, according to Mark Spector, the Oilers haven't really, they have soured a tiny bit, not turned away, of course, but there are going to be about 10 teams in the running for Ville Husso. But Pierre LeBrun, we've covered some of his stuff in the past, actually says that the Oilers are going to be right in the thick of it. He's the one that mentions those 10 teams, and he says the other Oilers are going to be right in the thick of it. So let's go Oilers. I ask you, Oilers fans, who do you want as our new tendy? Do we like Jack Campbell? Do we want Soupy? Are you with me, or do we want to see Ville Husso? He absolutely could turn it around again. He could peaks and valleys, right? The other name they talked about was Darcy Kemper. The Oilers really pushed hard for him last offseason, and he ended up going to the Avs, but could they come back around for him? I don't know if I'd mind that. That wouldn't be too bad. Moving on to the Tampa Bay Lightning, they hope to re-sign a few key players, and this makes sense, right? 3 straight Stanley Cups. You want to try to keep the core together, but that's a big piece of why that was so impressive. That was 3 straight Stanley Cups, because we got the salary cap era, right? And right now they're right up against the cap. So according to Joe Smith, Palat, Nick Paul, and Jan Ruda are going to be the 3 key ones that they want to re-sign, and it looks like they are going to try to move Alex Killorn's $4.45 million contract off the books to do so, which if you look at the impact that those 3 have versus Killorn, if you can get all 3 of those signed for that figure or a little more, then absolutely. But Palat is going to be the big one. Absolutely. You're never going to be able to sneak all of those in for such a low figure, I would imagine. I'd be really curious. But if Palat decides to take a hometown discount, maybe. You never know. Let me know, Lightning fans. What do you guys want to see happen with this team? Are we looking to shake it up a little bit? Are we going to pull a Minnesota Wild and drop a blockbuster on us? That was the big news yesterday. I'll leave the link down in the description for you guys. But Kevin Fiala was traded from the Wild to the Los Angeles Kings, and we didn't really dive into too much, but it was for a first and for Brock Faber. Last night I did ask you guys to let me know, and it is Faber. Appreciate you. But they interviewed, they talked to Billy Guerin, the GM for the Wild, because they have some questions, right? Like, is this the right move? Is this the right location? First and foremost, Billy Guerin just says, we would have needed to trade 3 people to be able to keep Fiala. He admits that Fiala had an excellent season, and considering where Fiala started this season, right? He was in the doghouse, and regained that trust of the coach and gets put in there, and man, he has a heck of a season, earns that huge 7-year extension, almost $8 million a season on that. That's just incredible. Good for him, right? But you have to look at the trade as well. Los Angeles, that's on the West Coast. It's a Western Conference team. What are you doing? You have to see Fiala quite a bit now. And now the Wild might have to go through Fiala, or Fiala might have to go through the Wild. And Billy Guerin says, I don't really care. And it's interesting. Billy Guerin's comments come off as someone that's just tired of talking about it, is a little frustrated. Maybe he had to give up one of his better players, and just a little annoyed, right? And with all due respect, maybe you should be. But at the end of the day, that's the trade had to happen, right? Wild fans, I think you guys are still in good shape. You have some really nice pieces there. And for Los Angeles, I'm, again, really excited. We talked about it yesterday. I'm excited to see what else you guys do. But, all right, last but not least, this one really caught my attention. I knew Pierre Luc-Dubois was very interested in wanting to test out free agency, but the trade talks are starting to heat up, and the New York Rangers are reportedly interested in acquiring his services. Francois Gagnon, dialogue between the Jets and Rangers took place during the Stanley Cup Finals, and they're starting to talk a little bit, just whispers, just let them know, hey, we're interested. But going back to like Joe Sakic, right, and building this Avalanche team, we talked about it in that video earlier in the playoffs. Joe Sakic, when he wanted Arturi Lehkonen, right, he just kept poking the bear, just kept prodding it. Yeah, I'm here, I'm interested, I'm not going to be rude, not going to be disrespectful, but just know I'm here, I mean business, I'm ready to deal, we're open for business. And it feels like we're getting a little bit of that with this. And Pierre-Luc Dubois, he wants to test free agency. It sounds like he really wants to play for Montreal, which would be really cool. And Canadiens fans, I think he's just a little too soon, right? Like we're just starting this rebuild, or we're trying to put something together, and you can't really get rid of assets at this moment for someone like Pierre-Luc Dubois. But if he signs as a free agent, absolutely, just keep building. So that's going to do it for the rumor roundup. We went through 4 different ones, and I like it, right? This is fun. So let me know in the comments if you guys enjoy this. We'll keep doing it, maybe like a weekly segment, something like that. But let me know down in the comments, is Soupy the right tendy for the Oilers, or do you guys want to see someone else? And did the Wild get enough for Fiala? one good young player and a first-round pick. It's a nice overhaul or a nice haul, but was it enough? And should they have done more to keep him out of the Western Conference? But that's going to do it for the video today. I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. To say thanks, we are doing a giveaway right now. We're on that race to 100 subscribers, so we're getting there. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. Once we hit that 100 subscriber mark, we're going to give away a $100 gift card to the NHL shop, so you can pick something out from your favorite team. Again, just a way for me to say thank you. I, again, look forward to each and every day our videos and chatting in the comments. So until next time, cheers!